Welcome everybody to a very exciting episode of Homesick Philly Bros, where being homesick is really starting to hurt right now, not being able to get to watch these Eagles back in Philly.
For YouTube.
Thank God for that, and the games being broadcasted on channels that we can actually watch. But once again, this is Homesick Philly Bros, presented by AML Media. Love you, Mom. I am Gene Labordi. This is my co-host, Stephen Labordi, and off-screen doing all the hard work is Rachel Labordi. Before we get into everything, Rachel, do you want to give us our plugs real quick?
Okay, we are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All of our social media handles are on the screen, so take a screenshot if you're watching the video, or you can go to our website to find all of our links there. The website is aml.news.blog.
All right, well, let's get into a top of the show. Very exciting. Eagles won by an outstanding 38-7. Let's go.
Let's go.
That was a sweet game. That felt good the whole way through. I can't believe I had ever even questioned it in my mind. The way that we came out, no rust whatsoever. Just a great game all through and through.
Yeah, that's a spoiling type of performance. Like, you don't get that in the playoffs. It was literally from the kickoff. I wasn't stressed out.
Yeah, so I guess I'll say my gut reaction was, woohoo! This is fun. Yeah, seriously. I mean, what? It was 21-0 by the first half being over, or not? Definitely by the first half, first quarter maybe.
No, but yeah, we came out like fucking gangbusters.
They couldn't do anything against us, and we could do whatever we wanted. Against them. Yeah. But yeah, so not even on the field. Like you were just kind of mentioning. Off the field, I'm loving our coaching staff. It's already we're already doing things where people are like, Nick Gannon is going to get, a head coach offer possibly.
Jonathan Gannon.
What'd I say?
Nick
Gannon.
Nick Gannon.
Isn't he on the team too? Which, I mean, that goes to show how good we're doing. That means he's scheming correctly. We went from watching the game the week before going, wow, Jones looks good. And Barkley was running. Our defense was just dominant. I mean, we had 2 sacks in the first series.
Yeah. Reddick basically made that statement right on the opening defensive series. Half of that sack went to Josh Sweat, but it was a stunt up the middle and just a pure outside rush. He won both. And yeah, we made them look like they weren't a playoff team. I mean, think about it. This was the divisional round of the playoffs. This wasn't a wild card weekend. And you could say the Giants never should have been there in the first place. Well, they beat the Vikings easily.
Yeah, pretty heavy-handedly beat them.
And we came into that game limping a little bit. But clearly the rust was gone. And we smoked them. And it was never in question. Every position group, every asset or aspect of a football team, there's no negatives to point out.
Dominant. That's the best word you can call it. It's just dominant all through and through.
Physically beat them up.
Yeah.
And it's so fun because we both played offensive line.
Oh,
so
I can't wait when we break that down. It was all people. Not even then, dude. A.J. Brown, that one block he had the cornerback on roller skates backwards, dude. It was everyone came to play and didn't want the game to end.
Yeah, and for all you dings out there who say like all you want is passing touchdowns and deep balls, like you should learn how to enjoy football properly. Because when a team can just run it, there were some drives where we ran it every play.
Oh, dude, middle of the third quarter, we were just running the ball. Their defense was sucking wind, and it was just because we could get 5 every time, at least getting 5 yards on the ground.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Sirianni was kind of hot dogging on the sidelines.
A little bit.
I get why the rest of the NFL fan bases don't like him. It's bad enough we're the Eagles, Philly, and then we got a coach acting like a like kind of jerk, I guess.
Hey man,
but he's hyped.
I call it business swagger. That dude is so excited. That is passion. I know people are gonna say this, that, but that's passion to me.
But you could definitely see how other fan bases are like, "Fuck this guy."
He fits us well.
Yeah,
he fits us well.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into the upcoming matchup, but I just want to say that like a big aspect of this game is the coaching matchup. I think that's to me the biggest difference maker. And you like you were saying, I'm very confident in our coaching staff.
It's in the mini episode we did just for the divisional round. I mentioned it. It's kind of corny to say, but you can see these players wanting to play for their coach. They are all so excited for him. He's so excited for them. Like it really is like how we talked about to try and write comedy together or anything. You got to be really comfortable and not be afraid to try, make a mistake. And that's what that locker room feels like to me.
Yeah.
No one, every speech that's made is a good one. I get goosebumps, especially when Kelsey's talking. I'm like, dude, I want to be in that team so bad right now.
I know, for real. It's a great mix of veterans and young guys. And we have like 4 or 5 players that have been to the mountaintop. They've won a Super Bowl. So, but the biggest thing is we have Jalen Hurts. And he's the most stoic, even-keeled, badass leadership. I don't even know what you call that. But the team has taken on his persona.
The simple fact that people are saying that he's not one of the top 2 best remaining quarterbacks right now. There's people out there saying Purdy's better than him. You're dumb and you're just hating on Philly.
Yeah, and that's fine.
We like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and fuel our tanks a little bit more.
Keep it going.
So that was gut reactions. One of these, I'll tell you what. I don't want to put the carriage before the horse here, but I think if we get to the Super Bowl, we might just have to have a camera on us watch that game the whole time.
Yeah.
So you can really see what a gut reaction is.
But you can't back out if they start losing.
Oh no! I'll just maybe I'll get one of those hand squeezers for the game.
I don't know how much that'll help, but yeah, that would be. But let's focus on
one game at a time.
One game at a time, like the boys.
We're professionals. We're there with you.
And I will be having fucking butterflies and kind of nauseated.
You said to me, I think it was early in the game, and maybe it was after we scored the first touchdown or even the second touchdown where you calmed down. You said, I seriously was having anxiety attacks this week.
Yeah, felt borderline. Not during the week, before the game. Like that day. Plus, I drink a pot of coffee a day, so that doesn't help. But let's get it right into injuries.
Yep.
That's how we usually start off. No injuries coming out of this game. Like you said earlier, woo!
Woohoo!
This is fun. Lane Johnson played the whole game. He said as the game went on, once he loosened up, it wasn't bad. And you saw replays where we had a big run or whatever, and he was jumping up in the air and hustling after the play.
And after the first touchdown or something, I was like, don't show me this, please. But you could tell him kind of when you have an injury, everyone does it. You're kind of testing it. You could see him poking at his abdominal. I was like, don't show me that. But yeah. I mean,
and people that play with him or break down a lot of films say one of his best assets is just that he's crafty as shit. Obviously he's physically imposed, but he's really crafty, and that's what you need when you're playing with injury.
Isn't he the one who's heads up? I think we both seen it together. But the defensive line, there's a convention every year that defensive linemen go to basically just talk technique and shit.
Uh-huh.
I think Lane Johnson might run the offensive line one of that, or be one of the
I know a lot of guys come out to his ranch in Oklahoma or whatever, and want to study with him and lift with him. But yeah, so that's no worries there. I know Jalen's shoulder's still sore or whatever, but at this point, I'm not even thinking about that.
And nowhere in his throws did you question that shoulder.
No, and he ran it a few times.
Like we said, we're at the point we're allowed to throw caution to the wind with him. You know what I mean? The designed runs and stuff. This is it's a little bit in God's hands now when he runs. So it's like
you can't
hold anything back right now.
I don't want him to take a big shot just to get a yard, unless it's a third down play. You know what I mean? Like, and some really good news. Avonte Maddox was back at practice today, and I've heard mixed theories here. I think he really might go, and that would be huge, especially when you got a guy like McCaffrey out there. He would help a lot.
And not that it happened once with Reed Blankenship got beat, but it's not like he's not holding his own. It's just, and he's so good.
I think they got a player in him, like moving forward.
We like him. We talk on him every episode. He does something.
He shows up.
He plays hard.
He shows up. So
he's a smart player.
Right. Exactly. Couldn't ask for better on the injury front.
Yep.
So if we can get out of this game with a W and no injuries, that would be a miracle. But just to have nobody even like dinged up. 49ers have a few players that are like, including McCaffrey. So all's well on the Eastern front, if you will.
So good there. Let's move on into the offense here. Break that down a little bit. We've already touched on. We always do that gut reactions. We're so excited to talk about the good thing, and But where was there a weakness? If you have to find one
on the offense,
penalties. Just that one.
A couple. Yeah. Jalen didn't throw for a ton of yards, but we ran for 268 yards, which is unheard of.
Because that's
unheard of.
Why I'm excited about, like I've said in previous episodes, we can win different ways. Yeah. And that is what I think take. Defense wins championships, which we got a great one, but our offense can get it done. Like, it's nice being able to get up 21-0 and go, all right, boys, we're going to run this ball because we just want to chew clock and let's quicken the death of them.
Yeah, may force the other team to toss the ball over the place. Let me just give you some numbers here. Excuse me. Jalen was 145 for 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown with a 112 passer rating. That's really good. Miles Sanders was 17 for 90, which, if you remember, when we were watching that game, I was like, it seems like Sanders only had like 8 runs. 17 for 90.
In his defense, I told you, I was like, you just keep smoking cigarettes when he gets the ball.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently. But that's a really good game, and it's good to see him get 17 carries.
Yeah.
So he's feeling good. Gainwell was 12 carries for 112 yards and a touchdown. That's his first 100-yard game ever as a pro in the playoffs.
And we've both said we really like that kid. I love when he runs between the tackles. Like, his head is so downhill. I love watching old school football.
We got a nice tandem going on with these 3 guys. So leading receiver, Devontae.
I don't see it written down, but Boston Scott was talking about the running. He didn't have a did he get a touchdown?
Yeah, he got in the end zone again.
The giant killer? Good.
Scott touchdown. Devontae Smith was 6 for 61 and a touchdown. AJ only had 3 for 32, but he blocked his balls off. Everybody blocked their balls off in this game. But he was pretty open for that one deep pass.
Yeah.
Jalen missed him by a tiny bit. Dallas Goedert had a really good game. He was only 5 for 58 and 1 touchdown, but he was impact kind of tone setter for this offense. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he had. I had in my little notes. He had 1 block that was really awesome. I mean, he made a grown man look like a child.
Yeah, on that fake QB sneak.
Yeah,
toss play.
Which there's a little trickery there, but dude, it's really once again, both of us. I get exciting for blocking because that's the only thing I was able to do in football.
Yeah,
really.
Right. But if it's a play, I think you're talking about. He launched a D-back out of bounds. Yeah, so that was awesome. I'm a big ball Brian Baldinger guy, and his breakdowns of the offensive line and blocking schemes in his game, I could have rewatched him.
I hope our offensive line coach Stout never leaves. He seems to, even in our bad years, when 2 years ago when every game we had a different offensive line because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
The dude can piece things together, and I like that he knows when to be a tough, hard-nosed guy because offensive line coaches usually are that, and he also kind of knows when to let up. So
he's not just the offensive line coach; he's the run game coordinator.
Which makes total sense.
Totally makes sense, but not a lot of offensive line coaches also coordinate the run game. So I'm just saying he's really integral to the whole offense, not just the blockers.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Maybe we should start this. Like, there's you can buy jerseys, players. Dude, coach polos. You just get a sweet ass eagle, like whatever apparel they wear, but it says Stout on the back or something.
Yeah, we'd have to get that made.
Hey, it might be onto something. NFL, you already know how to make money, but I just gave you an idea to make a lot more.
I don't know how many people would buy those, but if you saw somebody with them, you'd be like,
I guarantee they would. A lot of people in Pittsburgh would have a Tomlin jersey or a Tomlin polo.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Okay. What else do I have on the offense?
We had our backups in at one point for a playoff game. Has that ever? I've never seen that.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And they played well, especially on defense, what we'll get into. 3 pressures the whole game that offensive line gave up. Jalen hit the deep ball, the second pass of the game for 45 yards in the air. It was really hard to go back and pick out flaws, which, again, is just a credit to this team hitting on all cylinders again. The Giants aren't that bad where you can write it off as it was a bad opponent.
Once again, NFL team. That was on the upswing, as people were saying. They were on the hot streak.
There was a lot of big money coming in on the Giants. So the offense was great. And there's no question marks about Jalen.
I'm not good at gambling or know the terms of it, but if there's a point differential and you bet above it, you won a lot of money.
Yeah. I think the over got the over hit, even though the Giants only scored 7 points because we scored 38. In any case, let's not expect that again this week. But you have to give an A+ to the offense. Anytime you can run for over 200 yards in a playoff game.
In this era of football.
It's unbelievable, and it's fun.
Because it's not like their Giants' defense are scrubs.
Their defensive line is the strength of that team. And Kelsey totally eliminated Dexter Lawrence. He didn't do shit.
And to our running back core again, Giants are the #1 most blitzing team.
Yeah, Wink Martindale's a monster when it comes to blitzing.
I see a lot of our running backs like blocking. The way it looks, they pick it up, they're ready for it, and
in the NFL, a running back has to be able to block.
Yep.
So again, like I said, A+ for the offense, and I would never give out an A+, but there's nothing you could take.
Good job, boys.
Yeah, keep it up. All right, so defense. Like I said earlier, you said we neutralized everything. They were a non-factor. The pass rush again is unbelievable.
It must be frustrating and terrifying if you're an offensive line coach or whatever for other teams and going, how many sacks they have? And they don't blitz ever? What the fuck am I supposed to do about that?
They just have dudes that win.
We blitzed a couple times more than usual. Maybe 3 times.
On the Bradbury interception, which that's awesome against the team that
you came from.
Decided not to pay you. Thank you, Giants. There was a blitz on that play, but yeah, we didn't blitz a lot. We never do.
When you have a front like that can stunt like that, I just wrote a rap song. We do it for the birds. That's terrifying, man. That's scary. Because sometimes this stunt, people in high school run stunts. And there's times where we're doing a stunt where, there's a guard with his head on a swivel. Like, who the hell do I...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would think these guys would be able to block that stuff up. But the fact of the matter is, Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat, they're just freaky. And Hassan Reddick is just unreal on tape, dude. His pass rushes, he's like Spider-Man, dude.
Yeah.
He's not a big guy. He's not overwhelming. He's just good. It's because he came back and is playing for his hometown team.
Yeah, that's of course. He's like, I'm doing it for the city.
BG got another sack. Sweaty got a sack and a half. Actually, he split that one with Reddick.
Hargrave didn't get one though, did he?
No, he didn't.
And that would have picked up there again too.
But it's been the story of this team. When we win, that pass rush gets home. 5 sacks in a playoff game against a Daniel Jones that can move. We were supposed to be afraid of that coming into the game. Daniel Jones' legs, and he gets rid of the ball quick.
Very quick. You could tell he was trying to, and it's still having Barkley as your running back, so you have to honor that.
We totally shut that down.
I mean, we do, getting up 21-0. It's like, all right, we can't run as much, but I mean, they were trying screens. We just were on everywhere.
Yeah. One of the things that jumped out to me just watching the TV tape, and I'm sure I said something during the game, like we were laying some hits, man. And when we put our backups in, they were laying some hits, especially in the safety position. Nobody had a bad game. And even when we put the backups in, we were fine. Which is, again, that's not going to happen again this week.
No.
But it's a great sign. It's a great sign.
The boys are riding high. To have that dominant of a performance and go like, okay, we know what the hell we're doing.
We're really this
Everything works. Yeah, you got if you were looking for something, proof is in the pudding. And it's yummy-ass pudding.
It's banging pudding. And
it's more like a mousse.
I like pudding more than mousse. Mousse is good. Anywho, not even talking about the secondary. Slay and Bradbury. Can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, the one big play they had, we didn't get to the quarterback. I think he stepped up in the pocket, Jones, and we were in a zone of some sorts, it looks like, and just Blankenship just got a little. I think he didn't turn his hips fast enough, or however you want to say it. He just got a little.
He can't turn his hips any faster. But that's okay.
That's the NFL freaking divisional round. And that's the one play that I'm remembering where, like, damn, we could have had that.
There was also the deep pass that we busted a coverage, and Daniel Jones threw it to Tony, and the guy, it was just a little bit too high, and it hit off his hands. If he would have caught that would have been a touchdown. So we need to clean that up. Busted coverages are bad. But hopefully if Avonte Maddox plays again, that'll allow CJ, GJ to go back to safety. But even if he doesn't play,
and like I think I say at this point of every show, I'd rather it be a mental mistake than us physically not being capable of doing it. So in those busted plays, that's a mental mistake. You see it on film, clean it up, bing, bang, boom.
And honestly, most teams bust 1 or 2 coverages a game. Also, Cox had a sack.
Did you?
This was awesome.
Did you see the clips? BG being not only fun to watch, fun in the media, mic'd up. The dude is a A+ shit talker, dude.
Yeah,
and he does it without being like your mom or this or that. It's
not malicious. It's just effective.
And it's funny because someone mentioned something. Cox goes, he ain't gonna stop. He does this. Trust me, he does it all game.
Yeah. He's definitely one of those guys that every team needs, where he's always making people smile and laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny that they were saying. I heard Fletcher Cox saying like BG needs to chill out a little bit on riling up Dexter Lawrence, because he doesn't have to block Dexter Lawrence. Kelsey does. Yeah,
that's funny.
So that was great. Yeah. So defense was great. Special teams. Brett Kern had a great game punting.
Good punts.
3 punts with inside
after
the
having
20.
a bad game of punting.
Yeah, he looked shaky. Week 18, but all his punts were down inside the 12 or shorter. Elliott was 1 for 1.
And after let's just to rub it in their face a little bit more. After watching the Cowboys kicker the week before, you can't take PATs for granted.
No, you can't. And listen, Jake Elliott is 12 for 12 in his career in the playoffs. And when we won the Super Bowl, he was a rookie, and he hit 250-plus yarders in the Super Bowl. So he's cool.
He's been there, done that.
He has.
He's got a head on him. He's got confidence.
Only the Cowboys kicker could get jacked up that bad in the playoffs. That shit just happens to the Cowboys. Dan Sileo, I think I mentioned before, calls them the Dallas Chernobyls because they just melt down.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, right? So, yeah. That's it for just offense, defense, special teams. AAA. Just good times.
So, and to mention, so it was a Saturday game. It was weird, 6:30 or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
This goes to show the creativity of the city. So, one, I heard very well-behaved fans, which things could have gotten bad there because Giants were so close. Two, the cleverness, what I'm talking about, is the Philadelphia Wings played at 1 o'clock.
So lacrosse.
It's our indoor lacrosse team. And Philadelphia, all of our complexes share a parking lot. So for football, the parking lot only opens up 4 hours before the game. So it wasn't long enough tailgating for our fans. So cleverly, some of them just bought some tickets from the Wings, and then they were able to tailgate for 12 plus hours, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So cleverness, and we're classy guys. Look at that. Look at our parking lots. After everyone leaves, it's not like when Rachel, who's the country singer who comes here?
Kenny Chesney.
When Kenny Chesney comes here, they have to hire subcontract trash people down this city.
Really?
It's bad. Wow. In our city, we party and we have a good time and we clean up because we're classier than everyone thinks.
Especially with a beautiful victory like this, smooth sailing. You're not going to get any trouble out of us.
And the way you said, because our cops are like, all right, calm down, Giants fans, Eagles, you guys are good. And you said the night before, our field always has cool ominous green, our stadium rather.
Yeah.
And a fog moved in, and it was like a freaking movie.
It was cool as shit looking, yeah, because we have these green lights that emanate from the top of the stadium, and it just lit up this cloudy, foggy mist.
It was like Reggie White's ghost coming, and all of our past greats, their souls came and said, "I'm blessing this field for."
And it's a cool looking stadium without the fog.
The most eco-friendly stadium.
The most eco-friendly.
Go green, go birds.
But I just put the aesthetic view of the stadium up against any other stadium. We were watching the 49ers Dallas game, and I think it's Levi Field or something.
Yeah, it looks
corny as shit.
It reminded me of what I think a Midwestern
baseball team or something.
Yeah,
it was corny.
It looks like scaffolding, kind of.
So we win at that too. It really is I'm not being a homer here. It really is a really cool looking stadium.
And you drive by 95 and you get. You're like,
yeah,
boys.
Dude, it gets you hyped.
See, when you drive by that field
or something, it's all got these cool angles and it almost looks like it's got armor on or something.
It does, dude. Can't beat this stadium.
Yeah, South Philly, that whole sports complex. I didn't think about it until recently, but the fact that all of our professional teams have their own stadiums, sick for basketball and hockey, but most cities don't have that. They're different stadiums are spread out over the city. We have them all in one complex, and it just creates an awesome atmosphere.
And you can take the train from the suburbs.
Yeah, it's its own train stop.
It is.
Yeah. So, anywho, we have to do this segment. We're going to get into our bum and our beast.
Bum and beast.
Which we haven't done 2 weeks because of the bye week.
Yep.
And this is a tough one. So, lead us off with your bum.
Okay. Should I just do both mine together? Because of
Sure, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to do something a little unconventional here.
Wild card.
My bum and my beast are the same person. And that's because of how good of a game we played. My bum is Jason Kelce. My beast is Jason Kelce. And the reason I had to do this was, where could you find any mistakes?
Not easy.
And the only thing I think Kelce didn't snap the ball because everyone else went. So I think he got a penalty where maybe he was making a play call or something, but it was false starts on all of the offensive linemen besides him, so I think that was on him.
Yeah. And he had a couple bad snaps.
He had a couple.
That Jalen had to jump up in the air for.
And he has said that on his podcast, not that they need any plugs. But he jokingly goes, yeah, sometimes I snap the ball a little fast and a little high because I want that arm back.
Yeah.
You know, he's a little bit of an undersized person for an offensive line.
No, I wouldn't say a little bit. He's significantly undersized.
Yeah, so he's got to get that. So that's it. But for beast mode, bro, this one play, and this is...
Everybody's seen this play 1,000 times now.
One arm blocks a dude, pancakes him, and then has another pancake later where he did a total flop on the dude. He got him down and then went flop.
I love it.
Dude, and that's, if you've ever gotten to do that in your life, that is the 90-yard run. That's the 90-yard run for a running back. That's the kick return for kick returners. When you can do something like that to an interior lineman who are usually the biggest people on the field.
Yeah, yeah, and he just sets a tone for the offense in general.
And he's always downfield. I mean, it's crazy. He's always picking people up, and he's got to make all the calls. So
I'll agree though that if you had to pick a bum, especially from the offense, he did cause at least one penalty, and the snaps are a little crazy because there's a couple of them where if you don't have an athletic quarterback like Jalen, they could be a problem.
That's true. So
let me give you my bum and my beast. My bum, I mean, we said it's hard to pick a bum for this game, but I got A.J. Brown as my bum. Pouting a little bit.
Yeah?
Pouting a little bit. Reporters asked him about it. He had a great quote. He said something along the line, I'm paraphrasing, something along the lines of, I think I'm an elite receiver who can change the game anytime I get the ball. If you threw it to me 100 times, I'd want it 101 times. He was not happy at the end of the game. Not like T.O. style, but this is the first time I can remember seeing him kind of hissy fit.
And I never want to see that of a player. I get it to the extent that this is a big win, and 35 points went up, and he just wasn't. I mean, he is our best receiver.
Definitely.
But that's just one of those things.
He wants the
ball.
Okay.
You have to have swag at that position.
Yeah.
And there's just that fine line. Once again, this is the first time we're seeing anything like that. So
don't want to see any more of it. Though.
Yeah.
Don't want to see any more of it. And if we win 38-7, bro, you need to not be bitching about anything.
Yes. Yeah. I
don't like that. I like A.J. Brown still, give him the benefit of the doubt, but dude,
I kind of like, and it's hard because I don't remember the tone, and it's hard because he's got a little.
He
bit
was pouting on the bench, not talking to anybody. He was.
I didn't see that.
After that deep ball that Jalen missed, he laid on the ground for a little bit and got up.
He does lay a little bit, and every time he does that, I go, "Can you please get up faster?" Because if you get injured, I'm gonna tear up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not panicking, but definitely I think that's a valid bum.
Yeah. Hey, and just statistically, I mean, but once again, at the end of that, I don't know how he said it, but he said if you throw me the ball 100 times, I'm gonna win 101. I think that's self-acknowledging, like I can be greedy,
and there's no fear of this being like a lingering thing.
No,
he just got caught up in the moment, and he wants to make the difference. He wants to show up.
Hey,
he wants to be on TV.
Like from The Replacements when he tells Keanu Reeves, like, winners want the ball.
They do. So for my beast,
I like this. I like this one.
Give me Kenny Gainwell.
I like it.
This is his first 100-yard game ever, and it's a significant playoff game. He ran hard. He's not that big of a guy, but he's not easy to get on the ground. And he was definitely, if you had to pick like in hockey they do a first, second, third star of the game, he was your first star.
I keep mentioning it. Runs hard, picks up the blitz, and it's reminiscent. Now it's totally different because when we won the Super Bowl, we had like a LeGarrette Blount who was like our Punisher. Mm-hmm. I think you have to have 2 and probably 3 running backs that all can contribute.
They're all competent, definitely, if not more than competent.
Actually, he made a nice little catch out of the backfield. Nice little check down and turns 0 yards into like 3 or 4, but that's huge.
Yeah.
That's the difference in games at this level.
And when he was coming out of college, from Memphis, he was projected to just be kind of like a gadget player. not like a run between the tackles player. And he's in his third year. He's really excelled at it. And remember, he had a bad camp, so it was kind of like, what's going on with this Gainwell kid? He's supposed to be our third down specialist, but to do this in a playoff game,
and I call it the freak out mode. It's like when I used to wrestle. The only reason I was okay at wrestling is because if I would get a little too claustrophobic, I didn't have technique. I just had freak out. Get off me. I call it like, you see good running backs, when they make contact, especially, they know like they're half a yard away. It's just an extra like little like jolt his body in whatever way to like find that little crack to fall forward.
Yeah, he's hard to get down for a littler guy. So there's your bum and your beast.
Bum and beasts.
We expect bounce back performance from both A.J. Brown and Kelsey. So yeah, Kelsey could be the mayor of the city if he wanted to. He would win by a landslide. So I wanted to do a little thing. We're gonna get into this NFC Championship game now, which is everybody. I would think everybody, whether you're Eagles or Niners fan or not, would agree that these are the two best teams in the NFC.
1 and 2 seeds, the way it should be.
Right, and two physical teams that can maul people. Do you want to get into our roster breakdowns here?
Why don't we let's do the Bengals and Chiefs first. Break that down. Give our little opinions there.
Okay.
Because that way we can just go hard on the rest of the.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know, and it's crazy you're watching this show, it is in the AFC, Chiefs #1 seed versus the Bengals #3 seed. Damn, do we have 2 good football games coming up?
Yes.
Damn, this is good football coming up.
Yeah. I don't like that the Chiefs-Bengals is the late game.
I think, and we mentioned this in the little special episode, why that is. I was supposed to do research and find out. I did not.
That's
I
okay.
apologize.
I like a little mystery.
Who knows? Because whatever. Anyway, break it down. Joe Burrows has a chance to get himself back to the Super Bowl that he came so close to winning last year. I like the kid. I root for a team like the Bengals because Cincinnati ain't got shit all else going for them, kind of a little bit.
And they've never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
and they got a young quarterback. Until we have to play them in the Super Bowl, then I'll say I like the kid up until then.
I think that's a tougher matchup for us.
Yeah, you were saying.
If it gets to that.
But right now, Chiefs, I got to give it to Patrick Mahomes. He's got a high ankle sprain. He finished that game. I mean, as much as I hate him, I got to give him some credit for coming back into that game because he needed to.
Yeah. Yeah, even though Henny went fucking 97-yard
yeah
drive, but you're not gonna make it Super Bowl without your guy. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
So,
so how you see that game being a shootout?
Yeah, it's more likely it's a shootout than a defensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Which I wanted to mention. A lot of people tend to not like that. The 49er Cowboys game was fun to. Some people can't stand it. Watching defensive football is fun for us. I like
Definitely.
the hard nose. Every yard is impossible to get.
I hear these guys on TV and like in their podcasts say like it was a boring game, and I'm like, what? It was close the whole time. That's what you want.
Listen, when it was Miami versus whoever, and the end of the game was 3-9, maybe that's a boring game. But not
in a playoff.
Not in a playoff game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that every yard was very hardly earned.
Some people say this, and I tend to agree. Like, fantasy football is kind of ruined people's mindset of what a football game's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plus, they market the women now.
And the NFL wants the high flying. They want the posterized or polarized, is that what it's called? Whatever. They want the high flying catches in the end zone and stuff because that's what not football smart people enjoy. They're like, whoa, he jumped so high in the air. Not, holy shit, that defensive line can stop a run.
Mm-hmm. So the spread on this game, Chiefs-Bengals, is I think it's at 2 right now.
Ooh.
So it's both of these games are tight lines. Where are you leaning?
So I'm leaning Bengals because of the high ankle sprain on Mahomes.
That's a big factor.
I mean,
he was walking around today fine though.
He's got an arm on him.
Who, Mahomes?
Mahomes, yeah. I mean, to finish that sentence, he's got an arm on him, but a lot of his magic is when sometimes it's not even like a big scramble. It's just the quick step up or be able to get around the guy to sidearm a ball and stuff.
Yeah,
so
there's some goofy jump pass that works somehow.
And if the Chiefs hadn't already won a Super Bowl with, I'd be wanting my boy Andy Reid to be getting, the Super Bowl, but they already have one. And so to see a young quarterback, Joe Burrow's come and maybe beat a future Hall of Famer, which people are already saying because everyone loves Patrick Mahomes so much. That's what I want to see, and that's what I think is going to happen. Yeah. I think it's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, I don't care really about the storylines of Joe Burrow versus Mahomes. I'm just picking with my football brain, and the Bengals just have better lines. Especially a defense across the board. I think they have a better chance to slow down the Chiefs than the other way around.
And shit, what they did to...
They got like 3 good safeties and good cornerbacks.
And what they did to the Bills.
Yeah.
They dominated the Bills.
Yeah. So now you have Mahomes kind of hobbled. Give me the Bengals.
But yeah, I think we're going to see 2 different... I think we're going to see a high-flying offenses on that game. And I think that, moving over to the NFC game here, the Eagles versus 49ers at the Eagles, coming to the best stadium. I think you're going to see a lot of hard-fought football there.
It's definitely going to be physical.
Yes.
It's definitely going to be physical. I think, and I said this to you, the edge in this game is going to go to the team that is coached better. Because we're going to do a roster breakdown here. Just kind of grade out Eagles versus 49ers at different positions. And we haven't done it yet, but I think it's going to be close.
So, actually I should... All right, so just to break it down, I'm not going to keep tally because it's, who cares? But I just added it there because it's worth mentioning because you think it's, and I do too, think it's very important. Start the roster breakdown. Stop the tippity top with the coaching.
Okay. What's your, who are you leaning?
I can't say I know a lot about the 49ers coach, or the coaching staff. But I can tell you, I fucking would love seeing this. I watched that whole game. I would much rather be on the Eagles sideline than I would on the 49ers sideline.
Especially the Eagles being at home.
I mean, yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, their head coach, is one of these like kind of whiz kid types. Obviously, the son of the great Shanahan. Can't think of his fucking name right now. But you know who coached the Broncos. And John Elway to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I know him, but I mean, obviously, I'm not going to know as much.
And D'Amico Ryans is their D coordinator.
Okay.
Who is ex-Eagle?
D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, the linebacker. A candidate for a lot of head coaching jobs. Okay. But it's tough. This is I would call this a push.
I like that.
I could say it's the Eagles just because I root for the Eagles, but give me a push. That's where my mind is at. My heart's the Eagles, obviously, but my mind says this is a push.
I'm going to go Eagles here. And once again, I think the youth of the staff, I've already mentioned, not many podcasts are mentioning offensive line coaches out there, but we are because we know this team and we love them. I'm going to go Eagles. I don't know if I build it up in my mind, but I feel like we have just a bag of tricks that no one's seen yet.
Our offense has shown all season that we can hurt you any way you'll let us. If you want to stop us from running, we could throw it. And with Jalen Hurts as the weapon he is, we've got a great coaching staff around him.
Mm-hmm.
So special teams, it is important, people. It's just playoffs.
Who's the 49ers kicker off? I can't think of the top
Robbie
of my head.
Gould.
Okay.
Veteran kicker, good kicker, big leg. I don't really like the Eagles' special teams coach, Michael Clay. So I'm going to give this one to the Niners.
Okay. Now I'm going to, and I don't know much about Michael Clay, but we have said on other podcasts that they've made some switches, that we're getting some returns.
We've improved.
So he has corrected some mistakes, and like we mentioned before, Jake Elliott has been and won a Super Bowl. And I'm going special teams. I'm thinking just kickers, and we have someone who I don't think is going to be shaky.
Okay.
I don't think the nerves are going to get to him. So I'm going to go special teams for the Eagles there.
So at least that's good. We disagree.
Yeah.
Offensive line, this is a no-brainer. Yes, they have Mike McGlinchey and Trent Williams on the 49ers side, but we have 5 Pro Bowlers, legit, on our offensive line, and probably about 2 backups that could start for other teams.
I was going to say we have backups that have played like 2 full seasons for us because of injuries and stuff.
And like you've been giving Stoutland all that praise. He's part of that too. So this is a clear win in my book.
And I don't think there's anything you can do to outsmart Kelsey at this point. I mean, that the size he is, obviously there's something mental there that the dude just knows how to.
Yeah. Well, he's the one calling out the protections.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So
Jalen Hurts has improved because he's learned from Kelsey how to read protections and recognize defenses.
And there's just something about him, the way he stands. And he's got a crippled hand that he just tapes up and shit. He's a total badass. And everyone is. I mean, look at Mulata. Anytime, I still laugh. Every time I think about him, the time that a cornerback tried getting tough with him, I was like, you're trying to tough the biggest guy in the NFL?
Yeah, you don't want to mess with Mulata. So I'm assuming you agree?
Offensive line, yes.
Okay.
This is a tough one here. D-line. Bosa is good.
He's better than anyone we have.
Yeah, but overall, our rotation is scary.
Almost 8 deep, I think our rotation is. And at least 6 of those guys can consistently win one-on-ones. Linval Joseph add a lot to this team in the run stop. And I expect the Niners to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest aspects of us winning this game is can our D-line slow down the running game. So they have Greenlaw, too. He's a great player. Their one DN got arrested yesterday. And obviously the 49ers are not going to suspend him. He will play.
His bail got paid right away.
Yeah. So they got some players, man, but you can't really – I'm assuming you're going with the Eagles, right?
Yeah, our sacks.
Yeah, we have 70 sacks.
And the most pressures, it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a close one.
This is close.
Closer
I'm
than
close
the
to a
offensive
push.
line.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm saying it's closer, yeah. I'm not close to a push, though. If I had to give a level grade, I'd give the Eagles an A, and I'd give them a B+. I'll give them a B+.
Okay. And we shall see. And it's interesting when watching the Cowboys game. I assume they're going to do the same thing. I haven't watched them all year, but they feel comfortable moving Bosa on both sides. Like he moves around different things. Mm-hmm. You know, he's got a really weird stance too. I pointed out. He looks like he's like a track
looks
star.
Like he's doing yoga.
Yeah. But okay, so that's that. Secondary. I'll let you lead this one because they're hard. They were fast, dude. But watching them against Cowboys, that whole defense, linebackers and secondary fly around.
Yeah. This is definitely an Eagles win.
Is it? Okay.
They got Ward is a good cornerback. They can be had deep. Their safeties are better. I would give them the edge on safeties. But quite frankly, no other team has 2 All-Pros like Slay and Bradbury.
When they are both, and Slay has given up some things we've talked about in the past, but when they're both playing at their highest level, which you'd think this is the game they would.
You would hope so.
That's you're taking away a half an offense.
Yeah, and you've also I haven't even mentioned Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And if Avonte Maddox plays, yeah, and that's not taking shots at their team, but they've been scored on up before the playoffs, and it was mostly getting the ball downfield.
I want to mention this. We talked about it. They with Purdy, they haven't played a lot of hard. They're talking about this win streak he's on. When we looked back, there hasn't been a hard test. Cowboys were the best test that they've played so far.
Yeah. This is kind of one of those arguments that are annoying because, like, you play who you play.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's been amazing. He's 7-0 as a rookie, but
having points have been scored on this secondary by some teams.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I guess I will go secondary as well. I had to let you lead because I wasn't 100% sure about their safeties and stuff.
So you're saying the Eagles secondary?
I'm going Eagles secondary.
Yeah, this one's kind of a no-brainer. But again, like if we have an A, they're right behind us. It's just we have the slight edge with those two cornerbacks.
Okay. Now here's linebackers. I love our linebacker play this year, but after watching that game, I don't know their names, but
you know Fred Warner.
Yeah, I don't know the whole core. Is what I should have said. I think I'm gonna have to go 49ers for their linebackers.
We should just move on.
Okay.
They're definitely better than us. How about wide receivers?
Eagles.
Yeah. It's weird because Christian McCaffrey can run the whole route tree.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like both. And Ayuk's a good player.
Yeah,
and
but they ain't got
Debo?
Devon. Oh yeah, but dude,
I pushed this one.
you're pushing this one.
Absolutely. Because we're including tight ends, right? As the pass catchers.
Mm-hmm.
Kittle, Goddard, that's a push.
The Cowboys were able to shut down Debo.
It's not going to... Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're going to be able to do the same.
Yeah, I know. I'm just...
Okay, well, we disagree.
A.J. Brown is... I've seen him snatch balls out of people's hands. Devontae Smith. Shit,
I think you're not giving Ayuk his proper respect as a good player.
I guess you could say that. I don't have a lot of film on him.
Plus, we can't just do this whole list and say the Eagles are better at everything.
I kind of almost did. But I knew right the linebackers, definitely. Running backs.
Got to give it to them.
You got to give it to them. I love our core, but they have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Who, he can do everything.
He really can.
And the backup Mitchell's a good player, too.
If McCaffrey didn't have an injury, he probably would already be, Hall of Fame numbers-ish.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, not on there, but...
He's better than Miles Sanders.
Yes.
And then the quarterbacks is obviously Jalen Hurts. He was the MVP, leader for MVP until he got hurt.
Not according to some of these fools. You're a fool if you think Brock Purdy is better than Jalen Hurts.
I don't know how many people think that. They just think...
I've seen 2 shows now.
Okay.
Blatant disrespect on... Dude, just watch him. I hate it. He's good.
So we agree Jalen Hurts is better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, but... Yeah, Brock Purdy, that guy is good.
You got to respect what the kid's doing.
Yes, of course.
And I don't think people really give enough credence to it's going to be tough to play the Eagles at the Link in the playoffs.
I don't think we've seen Jalen's best game yet.
Yeah. Yeah, he keeps getting better. And we won't see his best game until next season. And I think he's just going to keep getting better. But anywho,
it's a good breakdown. So I did slate. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You did some pushes, but I just gave both a tally. You gave 6 points to the Eagles and 5 points to the 49ers.
Yeah, because I had 2 pushes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, me, being a little bit of a homer, I had 7 Eagles, 2 Niners, but some of those, I didn't want to do pushes. Some of those are really close to me.
Definitely.
And you've watched a lot more of the 49ers film and stuff than I have this week. So
yeah, they're a good team, man.
Oh,
That's why everyone's hyped for this game. That's why the line is, I think, a 1.5 right now.
Damn it. Whatever. Betting's betting, but it's going to be a good one. Once again, I'm going to have to find some Valium or something, I think, for it so I don't break at my house.
This is a really exciting matchup.
You know what they do? I seen for golf carts, it's a little attachment you can put on your golf cart that's just a little punching bag. It's
Really?
just, yeah, you just clip it on. It's like a little red punching bag.
I thought it was gonna have something to do with Valium the way you were talking.
I might just get one of those and like attach it to my chair somehow.
It'll help. But this is gonna be. I'm nervous.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
So let's go to the score predictions. Now, I am nervous, but my score prediction is Eagles 28, 49ers 17.
I don't think that's crazy, man. I think a lot of football people that are breaking this game down, would agree and have said the Eagles are better.
Here's my thing. It's going to be nerve-wracking because I think our second quarter stats are crazy. I think we're going to get up on them, and third quarter is going to pucker my butthole a little bit.
Okay. That's better than the whole game puckering your butthole.
Yeah, well, that's going to be puckered. Yeah. But third quarter, you're not going to be able to get nothing's in there.
You're not going to be able to toot.
I might close it up. The pressure might weld it together
forever.
It might
seal forever.
Is that a thing, Rachel? Can that happen?
Okay. So 28-17, I actually think that's pretty reasonable. Okay. And likely. I came up with this earlier, and I'm going to stick with it. I had 30 to 20.
30, okay.
I think they're going to get one more point than they did against Dallas. You know I've broken this thing down now for 3 days.
You were breaking it down at halftime, the Cowboys game.
Yeah. I really think if I had to put together a game script, I think they're going to get points late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at halftime we're going to be like, oh, dude, the Eagles are better. I think we're going to be up, and I think they're going to score late to make it interesting. And, I don't just pick the Eagles because I like the Eagles.
You don't.
I truly think we are going to show him something on defense he hasn't dealt with. And he's a rookie.
Yeah.
And if he wins this game, if Brock Purdy wins this game,
I'll give him all the credit. I will. I'll bow and say, good job, good you. But
write that prediction down so we have it for next episode.
What would you say? 30-20?
Yeah.
I want
the betting money, by the way, like the bettors, the pros, most of them agree the Eagles should win this game.
Come on. I want to get that ball and march at first. I want the ball, get down there, big touchdown. I'm talking like an A.J. Brown 30-yarder, and the fans will erupt, and the 49ers will be like, where are we? I want an early, awesome touchdown to get those fans, like, scaring them.
Yeah. I think they're really coached well. It's going to be hard to rattle them, but I think we're just more talented.
And I want someone to come down. We both have now. The dude is a goof. George Kittle. Can someone knock him down a peg or two?
I won't be able to handle it if he beats us. Like,
because he is good.
If he's the reason they win, it'll bring back flashes of Jeremy Shockey.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen. If Avonte Maddox plays, I don't think they're going to let him play unless he can play to his ability.
You think our defense is better than the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, slightly, though.
Well, Cowboys, if Dak didn't suck bad, you suck. No one wants you anymore. If he didn't suck, the Cowboys would have taken that game. I think
they would have. They should have.
They really should have.
But listen, this is going to be a boxing match. It's going to be a heavyweight boxing match, and I think the wild card is the coaching. Whoever wins this game will have outcoached the other team.
I like it. So let's go Birds. And I guess to anything else for that?
No. Let's get into the. Wait, what?
No. We got who you got.
We didn't do who you got. Okay.
Who you got?
Who you got? Scratch that. It's who you got.
Who you got segment. You're just excited for the wait what. It's gonna be nice. But who you got? Presented by AML Media. They always do that on the radio shows.
This is our bold prediction for the upcoming game. And I I'm going to just put mine right out there. I think Jalen Hurts is going to rush for 2 touchdowns in this game.
I like it. That's a
that
solid
bold?
bet.
Is that?
I was going to say, to make it bold, it be not a quarterback sneak.
Okay.
That
Let's
wouldn't
just do
count.
it like that then. I'll just say he's going to rush for 2 touchdowns, not including a quarterback sneak. The reason it's bold is because his shoulder isn't healed all the way.
Yeah, trust me. And 2 rushing touchdowns by a quarterback, and
it should be more rare.
in this. Yeah. But for me, he had a great game. I'm loving him. Dallas Goedert, I'm saying he's going to have 2 touchdowns, and he's a good red zone target.
Yeah.
He can box people out. He's actually a little bit shiftier and quicker than I think people give him credit for.
Unless you watch him every week, you don't see it.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at him and you don't think, because he can make a cut. He does that one route where I guess it's a fake the slant or whatever, and then in the out, he can leave some linebackers like.
Especially when we run those rubber routes.
Yeah.
Which good job not getting a penalty on that last week. I think it was Zach Pascal.
And I had written down here, already mentioned it. He had a sick ass block. It's so. That's my favorite type of football. Is
tight ends.
I always wanted to be a tight end.
Yeah.
I just never had. I have the hands. I just never really had the height, and I was always a little too heavy. But I think Goddard is. But now when you were mentioning it with the run game, Linville Joseph could be a fun one, because he's added such a big piece to our run stopping game.
Yeah, he really has.
He could have some TFLs, a bold prediction, a couple a TFL or 2 for him.
It's hard. I was thinking about doing like a defensive line pick, but it's hard to say like this guy's gonna have, unless you're just doing sacks.
And then it's
you
got to say 3 for a person for it to be bold anymore in this team.
Or you have to say you would have to say like McCaffrey's only gonna run for 50 yards.
Yeah,
or something like that.
But I just thought that was worth mentioning, because I didn't think about that till. Not that McCaffrey's an up the middle runner really that often. He can do it, but they use him.
I was just putting a number out there.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, because he does a lot of little gadgety things, where you want to call, because he can.
He does everything good.
You just got to figure out how to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
So that's who you got. Now we'll move into the I like this segment.
It gives us a blank canvas to kind of play with.
Just to have some fun with.
Because the NFL is our favorite soap opera.
It's our man's soap opera. But we have wait, what?
What?
Why don't you go ahead? You start us.
Okay. Couple things here. There's they put out the AP list for the end of the season awards. And
talk about it.
We got some snubs in this list. Coach of the Year, Sirianni is not a finalist. I don't think he was ever going to win it, but I think he should at least be a finalist. Peterson's one of them.
Okay.
I think it's Peterson, Shanahan. I forget the other one.
But not Sirianni.
Might have been Dable. I think it's Dable. Dable, which I think I give it to Dable.
I don't know how they vote on that, but is it just because they're like, well, he's got an awesome team?
Associated Press. So it's basically like certain members of the media, like writers.
I wonder if Frank didn't get a vote, probably because he was semi-retired.
Yeah.
That's why he's not.
But I'm not talking about guys like Skip Bayless and shit. But like,
yeah.
But that's a major snub for Sirianni not to be a finalist. Bigger snub. I was rooting for Comeback Player of the Year. I thought Brandon Graham had a real chance to win it.
Coming from a real injury.
Not even a finalist. Christian McCaffrey is a finalist.
So yeah, and
Geno Smith, Christian McCaffrey, and someone nobody cares about. That's not going to win it.
Christian McCaffrey, I mean, if he didn't get traded, you wouldn't even be whatever.
BT's 34, came back from a torn Achilles, and has the most sacks he's ever had in his career. Again, not to be a finalist, that's like a slap in the face. He's also our Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. So, he's clearly the Comeback Player of the Year.
Come on.
Yeah. Shane Steichen is a finalist for Assistant Coach of the Year.
Okay.
I don't know who the other assistant coaches are.
Or as Gronk called it. What did he call him?
Shane
Stickman? Spikeman.
He's such a fool. That when we were watching that
it's almost
coverage,
unwatchable.
It's embarrassing.
Like I get the NFL going. Like obviously he's going to attract a certain. That's all that is can he bring people to watch this shit? It's
Idiocracy type shit. Like this guy's on TV, he can't even talk.
And the writers for him are like I don't know.
They don't even write nothing for him.
I just mean like the little segments, like when they do like stay tuned for the halftime, he'll come in and be like, wait, we have halftime? Like it's just it's so bad.
They are clowning him kinda. It's like they can't see that this guy's not smart.
Listen, and he plays into that. But it pisses me off when I know how much money he's making to be, I want to be on the USSA insurance, please.
Those commercials are kind of funny. But anywho.
I say that pretty confident knowing I'll never meet him in person, so.
Yeah, right. Do you think it's a snub that for Defensive Player of the Year, Hassan Reddick isn't a finalist?
Yeah, of course.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
I don't think he would have won it.
Once again, it's just like that. Yeah, to be a finalist,
Micah Parsons is just he didn't really have that great of a season.
It's just once again, I don't know how shit works, but it's just all that. Yeah.
But we do have Jalen Hurts still in the running for Offensive Player of the Year and MVP. But I mean, we could say these awards don't matter. But you like Comeback Player of the Year, like
that one.
EG is like the Geno Smith played last year. He just wasn't good.
Yeah.
He was a backup. That doesn't. I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way. Few more things on here real quick. Frank Reich got the job with the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
He's our boy from the 2017 Eagles. I honestly am surprised he got another job this quick.
I don't know about another job. I don't know.
You know what I mean? A head coaching job.
That's what I mean. Head coach. I mean, obviously, like an offensive coordinator or something, I wouldn't be surprised. This one,
it's good news for us though because Shane Steichen had interviewed for that job.
I get it why, but like you get a team being successful, like everyone just please stay. We don't have enough money to pay everybody, but can you guys just stay?
Yeah. I don't even want to have to think about that till the off season. All those videos on Twitter coming out with Nick Sirianni, Hammond on camera. It's just funny how pissed off.
Why does it piss people off so much? I
think of another coach that walks up to the camera like,
or I know what the fuck I'm doing.
That was cool because he was right. He's allowed to be down there if he's calling a timeout. But the one where he's like bobbing his head, like looking right into the camera, that one really pissed people off.
Especially if you're a Giants fan. I think if the Giants beat us and their coach did that to us, I'd be like, where does he live?
For real.
Where does he live?
I get it, but he's winning. So
listen, also, do you think he's doing that if he's the head coach at Indianapolis? No.
Why not? If they're winning.
Because he knows that. We're like, fuck it.
Yeah, he's probably been empowered a little bit by the Philadelphia fan
as
base.
he should right now.
Yeah. It don't bother me. I'm just, like you said, if I was a Giants fan,
it's the bully. I always call it the bully theory. When you get a reaction, he's going to keep doing it.
Admit it's corny as shit.
I don't say it's corny.
Okay.
Not when you win 38-7.
It's not coach-like.
It's not coach-like.
It's not head coach-like.
I'll give you that.
That's like CJGJ. I could see him doing that with the braids and the swag.
Listen,
and the
he's got to keep looking cool to his players, man.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not head coach.
Listen,
so what do I know?
You're a 36, level-headed person. You're not in a room with young giant athletes that wear diamond necklaces
You're right.
and shit.
What do I know? I'm just saying from the outside perspective, it is a bit uncoachly.
Hey, the game's changing. If someone wants the bitch, it's,
Yeah, that's really all I got. It doesn't look like Sean Payton's going to come back and coach. I think he's smart to wait.
Well, he's getting paid enough money to being the fucking.
Yeah, but coaches want to coach.
Yeah.
But I think he should wait another year and hope that he can get that Chargers job when Brandon Staley probably gets fired. He's not going to coach the Cowboys. He's definitely the hottest target for head coaching positions, Sean Payton. And I wouldn't go to the Broncos.
Yeah, not right now. You just traded away your future, man. You sold the farm.
You don't have any draft picks.
You think it's gonna happen with Aaron Rodgers?
We're gonna have lots of time to talk about this, but quite frankly,
think he retires?
No, he's gonna get traded. I think someone like the
Saints.
Jets. Probably not the same.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of time to talk about that, but that's just because I'm interested because
he's a very polarizing character.
He's easy to hate. But I got just a couple of wait what's, and I thought these were cooler, but it sounds that everyone knows it. Purdy and Jalen have played each other in. It was the championship game in college.
I think it was like a bowl game.
A bowl game. So not the first time they matched up, and it was. I think the score was 50-51. Jalen won.
42-41.
Was that it? Okay.
Iowa State, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But they're familiar with each other.
Mm-hmm. And Purdy and Jalen, their combined ages, so if you add up both their ages, are the youngest quarterback duo to play in a conference championship.
Yeah. Which is pretty. I was surprised by that.
You like to see that, because
that means
I'm tired of seeing Tom Brady win shit.
Yes, for real. And that means the college is turning out pro-rated quarterbacks faster. You don't get 5 years to sit on the bench anymore.
That and this one actually turns out this isn't the only person, but this is the coolest because I like this guy. Jaguars, number 77. He's a guard, the right guard, and he's got white dude with dreads, and they don't look corny. Was a D3 football player. Never even played. Never moved up to D2 or D1 or anything.
Do you think that's more impressive than being an undrafted player?
Well, he was undrafted.
So he's undrafted D3 player.
Undrafted D3 player.
You gotta fucking look up these people's names before you put it in.
Well, I don't know. Okay, it's a white guy, number 77. That's good.
I'm not dogging. I want to know who he is now.
I told you the other day, and I just didn't remember it. But it turns out there's two others. But he's the only one. He started, and he basically was a late bloomer, more or less. In high school, had no offers, went to D3 and just worked his tail off. I think he put on 80 pounds of muscle when he was in college, something crazy like that. And I forget how, because reading those stories with all the ads are impossible to, know what I mean? But he just got an invite to the
combine.
To the combine, and got picked up, and not even starting because someone got hurt. Starting because
there's talent, man. Especially on the line, you can find guys,
and like a guard, because you don't have to be a tall guard. You can just be like the strongest dude in the team.
I want to know his name. Anyway, that is interesting. I wonder how many D3 players are in the NFL.
Right now, there's 3. The other 2, I mean, they might just be like practice guys. I didn't look into them because I just seen that story and then I searched it up later.
Okay. Yeah, Blankenship is the only undrafted player from last season to still be playing in the playoffs. So that's cool. That shows good development.
Hey, keep working. Your dream is still achievable. I can still play pro golf probably if I really wanted to.
I think so. Now you're at the gym, bro. You'll get there.
Dude, at the gym they have an attachment to go on one of the machines. That's they have a baseball bat one and a golf club one. I don't know what you're gonna use it for, but I just thought it was funny.
I guess it works side muscles.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me just run down the other Philadelphia sports here. Scott Rowland made it into the Hall of Fame. I never thought of him as a Hall of Famer, but he did start as a Philly, so congratulations. Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins were eligible. What are we doing? Can we not get these guys in before Scott Rowland?
Yeah.
Apparently, he changed the face of the third baseman defensively in MLB. I think
the big piece ain't in.
Not yet. Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame is the goofiest of them all, except for basketball, but that's because it's like college and pros combined. But yeah, congratulations, and also on the Phillies.
We're gonna be good.
We're gonna be awesome. the top 100 prospects list came out for this month. Andrew Painter, pitching prospect for the Phillies, is the #1 prospect in the league.
Boom shakalaka.
And Mick Abel, starting pitching prospect for the Phillies, is #8 out of 100. We never have a good farm system, so that's big news.
Let's go.
2 starting pitchers.
Let's go.
And 76ers have won 6 in a row, including a 5 on the West Coast road trip. Getting it done in different ways, man. Beat the Kings without Harden and Embiid.
Dude, Maxey is so much fun to watch.
Good. He's definitely pretty close now to back full strength from that fracture in his foot. The boys are getting it done. And it's, I'm following. I'm starting to follow now. Just keep it up. You know what I mean? Start resting these guys because basketball's gay and you have to keep everybody happy and rested. Yeah. And also, that was cool last night, watching Simmons get rid of the ball every time he was matched up with Embiid.
Oh, I didn't get to see
and
that.
He was just, he's not good. Everything we said was going to happen, I said he was going to not even ever play again.
When you said, you were like, I'm not sure how I feel about the Harden trade, I was like, the best thing that could have, we just got rid of a
wiener.
A cancer.
Yeah, he really was. Now he's Brooklyn's problem.
Yeah,
so yeah,
have fun with
Sixers are second best team in the East right now.
And that's a game of attrition, kind of. It's so long. These guys are so big. So much can go wrong with their ligaments and stuff. So keep doing good. So after we win the Super Bowl, we have go roll in the Sixers.
Yeah. Yeah, Embiid was caught on camera last night doing
he was giving it a suck it? Dude, that's
not cool though. It didn't look cool.
He's too big.
He looked absurd.
Yeah.
But if you're winning, you can celebrate any way you want.
I always say that. I think it was Triple H who did that. I was like, you know how many detentions and yelling ats that dude had
caused?
Because suck it.
Yeah.
Flyers.
They've won a few games.
I think, yeah.
Fuck the Flyers. The Union season kicks off February 25th.
Man, they got a quick turnaround.
They do. But it's soccer. How hard is it? You know what I mean? And then, Phillies pitchers and catchers report February 16th. So we do have other sports to look forward to, but we're focused on
one game at a time.
Just the NFL right now.
One game at a time. But I think that'll about do it for us here at Homesick Philly Bros. We're going to have to figure out, we'll talk about that later, but it's been a good episode. It's been a great week for us. We have so much fun football to watch this. Not so much. We have 2 great games to watch. Yes. And I think we'll be able to watch all of them with no problems. Fingers crossed. But once again, this has been Homesick Philly Bros. I am Gene Labordi. This is my co-host, Stephen Labordi. And on the 1s and 2s is Rachel Labordi. Thanks for tuning in. Go Birds. Miss you, Philly. Cacao! Go Birds! Go Birds!
We got to name him.
Iggy.